Revelation 13 presents one of the most sobering scenes in all of Scripture. A beast power rises, and it causes all people, small and great, rich and poor, free and enslaved, to receive a mark. Without that mark, no one can buy or sell. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark. Revelation 13:16-17. In the historicist reading that guided the Protestant reformers in the early church, the first beast of Revelation 13 represents the papal system, the very power that by its own public admission changed the Sabbath to Sunday and called the change its mark of authority. The image of the beast represents Protestant Christianity joining with civil government to enforce religious observance, replicating the papal model it once opposed. The mark is not a microchip. It is not a vaccine. It is the enforcement of Sunday observance in direct defiance of the commandment God wrote in stone, presented as the supreme test of loyalty in the final conflict between truth and error. This is not simply a conflict over a day of the week. It is a conflict over worship itself. It is a question of who holds the authority to define how humanity honors its Creator. The Sabbath was given at creation, before any nation existed, before any church was organized, before any emperor issued any decree. It was written by God, and no institution in human history has ever had the authority to erase what He signed. But God does not let that crisis go unanswered. Immediately after Revelation 13 describes the mark, Revelation 14 responds with what may be the most urgent message in the entire Bible. 3 angels fly in the midst of heaven, carrying a final invitation to every nation, every tribe, every tongue, and every people on earth. And listen to what the first angel cries with a loud voice. He calls the world to worship Him who made heaven and earth, the sea, and the springs of water. That language is not accidental. It is almost word for word the 4th commandment in Exodus 20, the commandment that points to God as Creator and to the Sabbath as the sign of His creative power. When the whole world is being drawn toward a counterfeit act of worship, God's final answer to that crisis is a callback to the very commandment that was changed. Andrews University scholar John Paulian demonstrated that this creation language in Revelation 14 is one of the clearest Old Testament references in the entire book. It was placed there with purpose. Fear God and give glory to Him, for the hour of His judgment is come, and worship Him that made heaven and earth and the sea and the fountains of waters. Revelation 14:6-7. God's final message to this world is not complicated. It is a call to worship the one who made you on the terms He established, not on the terms invented by any church or any government. In the middle of a world that is rapidly building a legal and cultural architecture around a day that was never commanded by God, heaven's response is simply this: remember who created you and honor Him the way He asked. Something is critically important that must be said clearly. No one today bears the mark of the beast. For centuries, sincere and faithful Christians across every denomination have worshipped on Sunday in genuine love for God, believing with all their hearts that they were honoring the day of resurrection. There is no condemnation in honest worship offered in honest ignorance. God sees the heart. He knows the difference between a person deceived by tradition and a person who knowingly defies His word. The mark applies only when a universal Sunday law is enforced by civil authority. The truth about the Sabbath is made plain and understood, and a person is then faced with a clear choice between God's command and human authority and deliberately chooses the latter. We are not there yet, but the infrastructure is being built right now in legislatures, in official church statements, in labor laws, in policy reports. The arguments are being normalized, the coalitions are forming, the stage is being assembled in plain sight. What we are watching is not the fulfillment of prophecy. It is the preparation for it. There's a parable worth sitting with for a moment. Imagine a farmer who planted a field in autumn and walked away. Months later, someone comes to him and says, "I can see the first signs of green pushing through the soil." The farmer smiles. He is not surprised. He put those seeds there himself. He knew exactly what they would become. God is not surprised by what we are watching in France, in Brazil, in the halls of European institutions. He named the power. He described the movement. He revealed the strategy. He sent the warning. And he sent the invitation. The last great test of human history will not come as a surprise attack on an unsuspecting world. It will come gradually, dressed in the language of progress, family values, social cohesion, and human welfare. It will look reasonable. It will look compassionate. And in that moment, every person on earth will be asked a single question, not out loud, but in the quiet of their own conscience. Whose authority do you trust? The one who made you and wrote his law in stone? Or the one who changed it and called that change proof of its own power? God's people in every age have been placed in this world as watchmen, not to spread fear, not to draw lines between people, but to share a light that is too important to keep quiet. The signs are visible now, not hidden. The laws are moving. The coalitions are forming. The statements are being published in official documents for the world to read. What the prophets saw is taking shape before our eyes. And the God who saw all of it coming is the same God who holds the answer, the same God who sanctified a day at the dawn of creation and has never once taken back that gift. No law passed in any parliament on this earth has the authority to move what he put in place on the morning of the seventh day. Now the question that matters is what you will do with the light you have been given today. May God bless you, my friend.